Thanks for tuning in to Sassy Lassies in the Kitchen. Today we are going to be making feta and tomato, sun-dried tomato, stuffed artichokes. Woo! We got this recipe from Living Simple or Cooking Light, I don't remember which one, but either way, it's healthy, which is something I don't think we can really say about our last two recipes, but this one is. And we're also using real artichokes. We worked up to this. We did the canned, we did the frozen, we did the jarred, and now we're doing the real thing.
Yeah. Although they're quite expensive, so all you lassies at home, when you go to the store, be prepared to pay an arm and a leg for these bad boys.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania, they're $3.50 a piece.
And in California, they are about $3. $2.99 to be exact.
So you better like whoever you're making these for, because it's going to cost you a pretty penny.
Exactly.
Alrighty.
Well, I just preheated the oven to 375 degrees. Dorothy, have you done the same?
375.
Exactly.
So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the stuffing for the artichokes. So set these bad boys aside for now. And the stuffing consists of the feta cheese, the sun-dried tomatoes, breadcrumbs, a little bit of garlic. Let's see, what else? Fresh basil, salt, ground pepper. I think I already said olive oil, but I don't remember. So gather all these things. Random fact, so I've been wanting to buy a basil plant, and so I went to Whole Foods thinking they'd have some, and they didn't have any with the dirt on them, but they had this one that still has the roots at the bottom, and they said, yeah, put it in a vase and it'll last you a long time. I was like, okay.
Very cool.
So that's an option, just to let you know.
I actually did the same thing the last time I bought a basil plant, and it was in there and it died.
Wow.
This is all that remains of it.
That was an inspiring story. How sad.
I don't have a green thumb, apparently.
Apparently not. Okay, so get a bowl. And we're going to combine the breadcrumbs, feta, tomatoes, basil, garlic, salt, pepper, and oil in medium bowl. So, go.
2.5 cups, you say? I don't. Oh man. Look, I always do this. I don't know where my 1 cup measuring.
Oh no.
I'm just the worst.
That is just the worst.
Okay. Practice the burden.
Alright. Breadcrumbs. What I have noticed with our recipes is that we conveniently use one ingredient from the prior one in the next one.
This is true.
Completely by accident, but we do it nonetheless, so that's nice. One less thing to buy at the grocery store.
One cup of feta going in.
Oh, actually, the breadcrumbs were from the pizza, weren't they?
The breadcrumbs were from the mushroom, stuffed mushroom.
Oh, they were? Oh, it was cornmeal that was on the bottom of the pizza. That's right.
Yep.
I remember now. We've just cooked so many things so far. It's hard to keep up.
It really is, you know.
Ooh. I'm just going to use the whole thing of feta. Because I kind of dumped it all in there anyway. It says finely crumbled, so get out all those big pieces because those will be difficult to squish in between the artichoke leaves when the time comes.
I'm in the process of finally chopping my sun-dried tomatoes.
She's always so much farther ahead than me. I'm still finally crumbling my feta.
I thought mine finally crumbled, so.
You're such a thinker, Becca. You're such a thinker. I bought my garlic peeled already. Does that count for something?
I bought mine mint.
Always a step ahead. That girl. All right. I'm finally crumbled. Time to do this tomato thing. Did you buy your tomatoes rinsed and finely chopped?
No.
Oh, neither did I. But now that I crumbled my feta, I can't open them. Oh, there we go. So Becca, how was the Backstreet Boys concert?
Amazing.
I can only imagine. Did they open with, "All right"?
You know, I was a little disappointed because they didn't open with that song. They did like a medley, but they did open with Backstreet Back, all right, and then they started their medley, and then they played the whole song later, or performed the whole song later in the concert. But the concert in general was really good. Adrian in particular is an astounding performer. I was quite blown away. And they're coming out with a lot of new stuff, which is actually really good. This is like they wrote all the songs and produced it all on their own, and so they just kind of are recently releasing it. And I actually like it just as much, if not more, than their early stuff.
Huh. So I didn't realize that wasn't just like a reunion tour, like they're actually coming back?
I think it was a little bit of both. I don't know how much they're going to tour after this tour, but they are releasing new music, so.
Oh.
And apparently they have been.
Well, all right. Backstreet has been back.
Yeah. All right.
All right. All right, all right. Oh no, my big knife is dirty. Do I have another one?
I couldn't find my big knife, so I think you're ahead of me in that department. I'm using the stinky little one, which is all I can find.
Wow, it is difficult to finally chop sun-dried tomatoes. Are you still chopping your sun-dried tomatoes?
No, I just kind of called it quits through and then. I do need to chop my basil, though.
Yes. But not your onions.
Yeah.
So I did a sort of interesting thing this week.
Tell me about it.
I took one of the kids that I nanny to this place here called Longwood Gardens. And it was just absolutely beautiful. It was just acres and acres of flowers and fountains and gardens and like topiary gardens and fountain gardens and exotic flower gardens. And then they had this like gigantic greenhouse type thing, like absolutely enormous. That was just insanely beautiful on the inside. And I immediately decided that I had to get married there.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. And then I came home only to discover that they very specifically do not hold weddings there. So that was terribly sad.
That is very depressing.
It really was. It was like all my dreams had been found and crushed in just a moment's time. But beautiful place if you're in the Pennsylvania area.
I'll
Very
be sure
nice,
to check it if I ever come to visit you.
Oh, well, you better. That will surely be one of the delightful places that I share with you. All right, so I'm just a slowpoke over here, and I'm finally moving on to my basil. Now, when you measure a half cup of minced fresh basil, are you taking a half a cup of the leaves, or is it half cup after you mince it?
I'm measuring it after I mince completely off on that, though.
That's a question for the professionals.
Yeah, professional chefs. Which we are not.
There's up here.
I was telling somebody about this vlog, and they're like, "Oh, you're a chef," and I was like, "No, I'm not."
No, you misunderstand. I have a food blog. Yeah, I haven't really told anyone about it yet. I'm kind of waiting for when we air our big debut in October, once we have a month of these under our belt.
Yeah, it seems kind of pathetic to be like, check out my food blog when you only have 2 videos posted.
We've cooked one thing. It went pretty well. I'm thinking that once we have people who watch us, we should have a shout-out segment.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we'll give some shout-outs. I don't really know who we're going to shout out to, but someone.
All the ladies in the house, put their hands up.
And for when we become really famous, we can take our theme song submissions. All right, I have a 1/4 cup of garlic minced. I feel bad for my little basil bouquet. Oh, I said garlic. I'm doing basil, not garlic.
You're crazy.
How crazy. I'm just all deceiving you and whatnot. Telling you I'm cooking up the garlic, but I'm really on the basil. So how did your family like your mushrooms last week?
My mom loved them, and then my sister, my little baby sister, Sarah, the one that kind of poked her head in mid-filming, she liked them as well, but I don't think anybody else in my family even tried them because they don't like mushrooms.
Oh,
They wouldn't even try it.
little scaredy cats.
I know, it was the list, they missed out. Were yours as delicious as mine were?
You know, I enjoyed a few when they came right out of the oven. And then I was really full because I had some really big mushrooms, as you'll recall. And none of my roommates were home to share them with. And so I decided that I was going to take them to the family I nanny for. And they thoroughly enjoyed them. So I think they were a hit.
Excellent.
Ooh, that basil smells good.
All right, I'm putting in my 2 cloves of garlic, which is approximately 1 teaspoon worth of minced garlic in a can or jar.
Well, I'm gonna cut up my real cloves of garlic. No approximating over here. Except I can't open the bag. Ah. So it was actually really cheap. This was $2 for 4 of these bags.
Ooh.
At Trader Joe's.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I think it's worth, and they're individually packaged, so they don't go bad.
I just put in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I put in a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. Or roughly that amount.
Yeah, I was wondering, how do we measure out the freshly ground pepper? Seemed a little tedious.
1 tablespoon of olive oil. I think we've used olive oil in almost, well, both 2 recipes so far. 3, I think, actually.
Olive oil and artichokes just go hand in hand.
Apparently.
apparently. And cheese. We've used cheese in all of our recipes as well.
Ooh, I didn't realize that.
No complaints here. But apparently artichoke and cheese is a good combination. All right. 2 cloves of garlic, minced. Now, since I've made some cooking faux pas in the past couple of weeks, I'm just going to double check. Clove is one of these little tiny things, right? A head is the whole thing of garlic, and a clove is one. Okay.
You got it.
Just making sure. I am not a chef up in here. I will not even pretend to be. All right, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm partial to sea salt myself.
I got a little too vigorous with my stirring and just dumped a whole bunch onto my foot.
Oh no, Becca.
It was very dramatic.
Do not stir vigorously.
I was a little worried that there wouldn't be enough stuffing for 4 large artichokes, but I think this will probably be sufficient if I had to guess.
I think that will be. I have to agree with you there. I have no idea if that was enough pepper or too much pepper. Let's hope it was just right. All right. 1 teaspoon of olive oil. We're back in the game. You know what they should do? Maybe they already do this, I don't know. But they should make like room sprays, like air fresheners, specifically for the kitchen that smell like herbs.
I bet you they do that.
You think they already do that? I'm gonna Google this again. Because if that exists, I want some essence of basil to spritz in my kitchen. I think that'd be delightful.
Or you could just cook with basil.
Or I could do that. But it would be so much easier to just spritz an essence of it. All right. So mine's kind of just like
Yeah, that's
dusty.
mine looks like.
Is yours dusty?
Yep.
Yeah? All right. That must be right then. Our dusty stuffing is done. All right. So now we get to tackle these guys. I'm intimidated.
I've never prepared a whole artichoke before, so this should be interesting.
I'm not even entirely sure I've ever eaten an entire artichoke before. Yeah, so this could be interesting. Bear with us.
A lot of potential here.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to read the directions out loud as we go. So to prepare artichokes, cut off the top 1 inch of leaves from the artichoke. So up here. Okay, here we go. Cutting off 1 inch. Wow, these things are not easy to cut. How's that? Your knife must be way sharper than mine. Mine is not having it. Ugh. All right. 1 inch kind of cut off. And we have to do this 4 times. Oh boy. Alrighty. I think I need a different knife. Side note, did I tell you about my yellow watermelon last week? No? Yeah. Yellow watermelon. It's a thing. If you ever see it, you should pick one up. Because it's really delicious. really intense. That's beautiful. They really are quite pretty.
Yeah, they are actually.
Are you done with all 4?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I really just went to town.
She's a freaking ninja.
Now, woman, someone stop me.
I'm blaming my dull knives. Like, I'm really sawing away these.
Mine are dull, but they're serrated, so I think that helps.
No. It's possible. All right, one more. Sorry. Ah. My mom would be appalled to know that I have dull knives. She says the rule number 1 of a kitchen is to have sharp knives.
I would probably cut my hand off in a day flat if I had actually sharp knives. I am not to be trusted with very sharp objects.
All right, remove the outer layer of small tough leaves from the stem end. So I guess these ones down here are considered small and tough. That's what I'm going with. Keep in mind, we don't actually know.
Are you taking all of these off, like right here?
I'm probably gonna take like 3 layers off, because I do know from my like 1 artichoke eating experience ever that the closer to the center the leaves are, the more like meat per se they have on them. And the other ones are like really fibrous. So like the artichoke heart is usually that's the only thing we've been cooking with so far. Yeah, so I don't know, 3 layers or so probably do it. Yeah, all right, when you peel them off, do you see the little white thing at the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
When you start seeing a lot of white stuff, stop. Because that's the meat. Ah! Wow, I am breaking a sweat over here peeling these leaves off.
Pretty intense.
Yeah, this is no easy feat. Alright, I think mine are all done. So now we are going to
Cut off the stem.
snip all spiky remaining tips from outer leaves. That sounds involved. Okay. So anything that still has a spiky tip on it, we need to chop.
Don't try to cut folks. I'm going to use regular scissors.
Whiskers! Alright. Cutting off my stems. How's that going for you? Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I feel like this is like it's time to impress your future mother-in-law type meal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Future mother-in-law, if I'm making this for you, I'm trying to impress you. Just a heads up.
This is kind of cool looking. Check it.
Oh, they're so pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask it again though. Like, seriously, when someone was in the wild trying to feed themselves, like, how did they decide? Like, oh yeah, like, I bet if I just like rip these leaves apart, I can eat this. You think they went through a process where they ate like the whole thing and then they figured out that the middle part was the better part? I don't know.
No.
Questions of life, Becca.
I'm sorry, I don't know the answer.
I think mine are too big still. Take off a few more leaves here. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of that 350 of this artichoke. You know, are we at the point where we have to cut out the furry inside?
Yeah, but we have to pull out the small. Ow! Frick, these are pokey.
Warning, artichokes are dangerous.
Yeah, for real though.
I don't even think I've reached the center yet.
How do you pull them out of the center is my question, without killing yourself?
Is it obvious when I get to the center?
I think so.
I don't want to poke myself now.
I'm pulling out the little inner leaves to try to figure what.
How do you get this? Becca and Darcy struggle with artichokes. Where's the heart? Revealing
I would say
itself.
fuzzy is not an accurate description. Pokey beyond belief is a better.
I can't find it. It's all purple.
I'm gonna use my knife.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
We're making it scissors.
Shoot. These things are really pokey. Are you supposed to get out the purple, like the whole purple thing, you think?
I don't know.
Because that's what poked me just now, and I wouldn't want to eat that.
I'm chopping it out.
Pull out those lighter leaves.
They're purple, they're not lighter.
Yeah, they're darker. They're purple. Are yours purple?
Yeah.
It's not lighter. Lies.
Lying.
All right, I'm revising the recipe to say cautiously pluck out the purple leaves in the center.
I'm just gonna try to scoop it out now and see what happens.
Yeah, it says, the recipe says to use a melon baller or a grapefruit spoon.
I don't got none of that. I'm gonna try an ice cream scoop.
I don't either. An ice cream scooper. That's brilliant. Well, in case you're wondering, that is what the inside of a cleaned out artichoke should look like. This is ridiculous.
Woo.
I'm seriously sweating so bad.
Move on to the next portion of this presentation. Okay, so spoon half a cup of the stuffing into the center of these artichokes.
Half a cup of stuffing into the center of our clean artichokes. All right. Now this is interesting to me because I assumed it would be not so dry.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think when we add the vegetable broth, it'll.
Oh, right. Good point. Good point. All right, half a cup fits very nicely. It's like a little bowl. I'm going to look a step ahead here because after they're all filled, let's see, heat 2 tablespoons of oil on medium-high heat. Add garlic and cook. Add broth and lemon juice, bring to simmer. Carefully stand artichokes upright in the pan. Drizzle each artichoke with 1 teaspoon oil. All right. I was thinking that I would do that and then finish filling these
That's a good idea.
so I can put them right in the pan because I think they're gonna start getting real messy. Now, how are you getting it in all the nooks and crannies? Are you using a spoon?
Yeah, I'm using just a regular kitchen table spoon. And they're stuffing quite nicely.
Yeah, I feel like usually we would be so much more talkative, but this really is requiring a lot of concentration. Wouldn't you agree, Becca?
Yes. Yes, I would. And I'm setting my timer for 50 minutes.
All right. Well, we will see you when they are done.
Yeah. Goodbye.